Welcome to Plural Flavor, everyone, and today I will be showing you how to make cheesy puffs. But of course, before we begin, I'd like to ask you to please hit like, share, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell for new released videos. This was the first time I've tried to make these, and I must say they turned out absolutely delicious. As you can see, the dough is super soft and fluffy. Look at that melted cheese. Surprisingly, these were really easy to make, so let us jump right into the ingredients. You will need 3.5 cups plus 2 tablespoons of flour, 1.5 teaspoon of sugar, 3.5 tablespoons of unsalted butter, 1 to 2 tablespoons of dried herbs. I used parsley, thyme, and basil, but you can use any herbs of your choice. You can also use fresh herbs if you like, and 2 teaspoons of dry yeast. You also need a teaspoon and a half of salt, 3 tablespoons of olive oil, 4 cloves of garlic, 1 1/4 cup plus 2 tablespoons of water, and you will need a pack of cheese cubes. I picked up an assorted pack. First step is to add sugar to a mixing bowl and add in your warm water. You will give this a nice mix, that way the sugar dissolves in the water, and you will add in the yeast. Do not mix the yeast, just simply set this mixture aside for 10 minutes. 10 minutes later, you will notice that the yeast had activated, so you will go ahead and add the salt, the olive oil, and the flour to the mixture. You need to mix all of this in and knead the dough for about 10-15 minutes until you reach a smooth consistency. You know you have reached the right consistency when your dough feels smooth and elastic. It should not stick to your hands. It should also feel very soft, so it should be easy to make a dent into it. Place your dough into the mixing bowl and cover it with a cloth. Leave it to rest for an hour in a warm place. After 1 hour, your dough will triple in size and you will place it on a dough mat. As you can see, the dough is very soft and you need to brush some olive oil on the top and bottom side of the dough, that way the dough is easier to work with. Cut the dough in half and set one of the halves to the side. Roll the dough that you are working with into a shape of a large hot dog bun and cut it into 1-inch pieces. Next, you will flatten out the dough and put in your cube cheese in there. I put 1 piece, but I would highly recommend 2. Seal the dough and roll it into a ball. Keep in mind the shape does not have to be perfect. You will continue this process until you finish all of the dough. After you have rolled all of your cheesy puffs, you will need a tray lined with parchment paper, and then you will go ahead and position your cheesy puffs in a shape of a circle. Do not worry if there is a little space between the cheesy puffs and if they're not all the same shape. It will even out once you start baking. The cheesy puffs need to rise, so we'll cover them with a cloth and set them aside for 1 hour. Ta-da! The cheesy puffs are ready to go in the oven. You will bake them at 400 degrees for 20 minutes. While this is baking, I will work on my butter mixture, and I will put my 3.5 tablespoons of butter into a little bowl. The butter should be room temperature. Add the dried herbs to the butter and follow that with the 4 cloves of crushed garlic. You need to mix everything in thoroughly, making sure that the dried herbs and the garlic are fully assimilated with the butter. Drum roll, the cheesy puffs are ready, but I still have to add my butter mixture on top. I will use a regular teaspoon to distribute the butter, and the idea is to have little chunks of butter all over the place. Make sure to do this step as soon as the cheesy puffs are out of the oven, as we need the butter to melt. You will then use a spoon to coat the surface of the cheesy puffs, and the idea is to kind of get all the nooks and crannies coated with butter. I will also use a cooking brush in order to make sure that everything is distributed evenly. Your cheesy puffs are ready to be served. You can eat these with marinara sauce, but believe me, they're good just by themselves. Please support my channel by hitting like, share, and subscribe, and commenting on the video below in the comments section. As always, check out my channel for more delicious recipes, and as always, thank you for watching.